Hi, my name is Bob Hagan, and I'm an accidental artist. I once interviewed with the National Security Agency, the NSA, and was told before I could go to work for them, I had to get art out of my system. I knew right then that art had power to define good and bad, in and out. I did get a fine art degree, but I ended up working as a family therapist and learned that what people just knew to be true about themselves and others was often problematic, and that by relabeling or reframing the truths, it was possible to open new choices for them. I ended up going back to the culture wars theme largely because of the political situation. My art tends to look at memes, encoded ideas of what must be true and false, and tries to reframe them in ways similar to what I did for my therapy work. I'm looking for things that don't quite fit together to develop a new meaning. An example of this is a series of photos that I took in Times Square. The first one actually was sort of, again, accidental. I was walking through Times Square the weekend Man of Steel came out, and that one really struck me. However, when you go back and look, there are lots of weird kinds of things, and disturbing. Like the picture of the woman walking by the sign saying, "Are those shoes new?" This is an example of surveillance capitalism. The phone kiosk picks up the woman's cell phone signal and serves her ads tailored to what the advertiser thinks are her needs, based on data mining of her purchase history and browser clicks. Now, some of the pictures are fairly in-your-face satire, like the picture of the M&M person on the big movie screen who's looking cross-eyed at an anonymous poster. These are intended to be warnings. Now, it's also possible, going back to the family therapy idea of finding something that's so empathetic that it would help the person shift their self-understanding enough to behave differently. Now, the series of work that I think sort of pulls all of these elements together is a piece that I call Teilhard's Universe. Teilhard was a theologian who introduced the idea of evolution into creation. Instead of God directly creating, he uses evolution to build the world from simple to complex structures, culminating in consciousness. In this scheme, by picking the apple, Eve becomes the mother of consciousness rather than the original sinner. Multiple consciousness, though, then makes for the possibility of different viewpoints and disagreement. Here we have Thomas Hobbes, who justifies the divine right of kings. That is, the king is the supreme ruler designated by God to make everyone cooperate. However, Hobbes also invents the social compact, which leads to democracy. However, once evolution is discovered by Darwin, the some are better than others idea is revived as the survival of the fittest. Further work on evolution, though, discovers that cooperation also has survival value, and that cooperators can survive better than non-cooperators. This principle doesn't take conscious choice. It operates down to the cellular level of plants and even bacteria. In this work, that's shown by the figures holding the sign saying T4T and the grudger. Those are strategies from a simulation called Prisoner's Dilemma. The strategies in that game that survive best are cooperators, like tit for tat. That means cooperate unless the other does not, but don't ignore non-cooperation. Grudger and straight never cooperate strategies are self-explanatory. Persons are tribal, though, and may cooperate with their in-group, but not with others. So the difficulty is trying to make people from different groups cooperate well enough so that it's possible to have everyone survive. Eventually, in Teilhard's model, everyone marches on to meet God at the end of the universe. We're not there yet, and this is where work promoting cooperation and satire teasing non-cooperation, like my Trump cartoons, comes in. So that summarizes my work. Thank you for watching and listening.